It has literally never been easier to be able to find undervalued deals that you could then flip on Amazon for a profit. In the last year, well, at least in 2024, I did $706,000 in sales. I sold over 6,000 products and I made $175,000 profit and actually paid myself $130,000. You'll see a lot of these online arbitrage guys, these wholesalers putting up big numbers, doing $500,000, $1 million, $1.5 million. And, they're saying they're making profit, but they never pay themselves. They've been putting money back into business for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And hey, maybe at the end you get to sell your business for a huge multiplier. But what I love about my business is I'm literally paying myself right now. And I've been paying myself pretty much from year one because the margins are so high. And essentially what I do in my business is I buy products on ebay.com and I flip them on Amazon. Now you might be wondering, well, Steve, how do you find these deals on eBay? There's literally millions of products, and I'll share with you what I use to find these products. So I'm not going to go into a full tutorial right now. I have done a bunch of videos on my channel. I've done live sourcing, but I use this tool, Replen Catcher. So essentially what Replen Catcher does is it finds undervalued deals on eBay that you could then flip on Amazon. And there's some examples on the sales page. You can definitely check this out. But if you're interested in, being able to do what I talk about in this video, get a free trial, Replen Catcher. You can literally put in your ROI, profit, choose your category, choose a filter, and then, have thousands of deals come directly to you. All right, so let's dive into the first item that I sold. I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 items that I flipped in my Amazon business. These are items that I've sold over the last 24 hours. And this is a really good one right here. Add this to your Replens list. Look this up on eBay. You won't find a lot of people sourcing this because certain products on Amazon, when you go to track it in Keepa, which a lot of these tools, Replen Catcher, SellerAmp, all these softwares, they're literally pulling data from Keepa. Well, sometimes Keepa isn't tracking the best sellers rank, they're not tracking the sales, and people won't buy it because there's no data on it. Well, I knew this item had 128 reviews, as you can see right here, and I knew from the past, because I picked this up at a thrift store and sold it, that people were buying this, but there wasn't really any data on it. So one thing that you could do is you could look and see the number of sellers going up and going down. So you could assume if there's reviews on a product, if the buy box is changing, if it's going up, if it's going down, it's selling. Just because Keepa's not tracking it doesn't mean that it's not selling. Well, I purchased this item on eBay for $25.19, and I'll put a screenshot of proof of my Amazon sale, and I sold it for $49.50. So I made $12.76. Of course, I purchased this on eBay using Replen Catcher, and now this is a replen that I track and monitor within Replen Catcher. 50% ROI, and $12 profit. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, Steve, $12 profit, that's like not very impressive. Like that's a lot of work, right, to make $12. Not really, because there's 2 ways to do eBay to Amazon. The first way is you buy items on eBay and you have it shipped to your house. So it's a little more work when you have to do that because you have to obviously unbox it, inspect it, and then, list all your items. But what I pretty much do now is I just have a prep center. So I have virtual assistants who buy these items for me on Replen Catcher. We essentially drop ship them to our prep center, which is Little Owl Prep out of Ohio. They get all the items, they inspect it. When we get enough products at their warehouse, they ship it out for me on my behalf. And of course, that's a bit more advanced. It does cost about $1.50 to $2 per product extra to be able to have a third-party logistic company do that. But the great thing about these items is once you sell it, so now that I've sold this, my team's going to go look on eBay for another one. And if it's not available at the price we want, we could send a message to the sellers to get a better offer. We could make a best offer, or we'll just have Replen Catcher notify us when the next one's available at a price that, hits our ROI and profit criteria. Right. So this is a good little flip right here. Definitely add this to your Replens list. All right. So if you've been following me for any duration of time, you know that I love to flip DVDs. And here we have a DVD that I purchased for $51.50. It's not super popular. It's only selling 6 times per month, 41,000 BSR bestseller rank. I typically like to keep my DVDs between 30 to 100,000 rank. I'd say 30 to 80,000 is my sweet spot. You could certainly flip DVDs that are 150, 250, 300,000. But when you're paying a bit more money, like, I'm dropping $51 on this DVD, I don't want to wait 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months for it to sell. Typically, most of the deals that I pick up on eBay, I'm cherry picking them for a 50% plus ROI, at least 40 to 50%. I try to aim for 50% or higher, and, 10, 20, $30 profit. And usually these items are selling in 30 days, right? Sometimes it'll take 60, 90 days, but most of my items are selling within 30 days. And it's not because they're so popular. It's because there's not a lot of competition. I'm going after discontinued products that you're not going to find at the Best Buy, at the Walmart. These items are, I wouldn't say they're collectibles, but people are collecting them. People want them, but they can't find them. So there's not a ton of sellers. Like if you look on this listing right here, there's only one person selling it, right? And if you take a look at the history of the number of sellers on this listing, like there's not a lot. At one point there was 5 and then 1, and then it even went out of stock, and then 3. So, this is a really awesome flip right here. Made $34 profit, 66% ROI. Sourced this on Replen Catcher. All I did was I went into Replen Catcher. I chose the DVD category. I put in, I want DVDs less than 100,000 rank, over $10 profit, at least a 30 to 40% ROI. This one came out a lot higher. I hit search, and literally I had access to like 5,000 DVDs. And it's that simple. So this was a great little flip right here. Be on the lookout for this DVD right here. And BBC DVDs, I've had good success with them. Let's move on to the third flip. All right, so a lot of people think that in order to do eBay to Amazon, you got to spend a crap ton of money, and that's not true. I flipped this DVD, Surfing USA, only paid $8.99. And again, after each sale, I'm going to put on the screen my actual Amazon order. And if you take a look at that Amazon order, look very closely at my custom SKU. You'll be able to see when I purchased the item, the date. So it might say like December 12th, 2024. You'll see what I paid for the item. Okay, so every time we buy an item, we put it in our custom SKU. You'll be able to see what it sold for, and you'll see a name. Sometimes it'll be Jane, Gia, Steve. You're going to notice you don't see the name Steve very often. Why? Because I've trained my virtual assistants to source for me within Replen Catcher and find these deals. So I don't have to sit on Replen Catcher for 6, 7, 8 hours a day sourcing deals. Literally, I've trained, someone for $4 per hour to do it for me. And I also do pay my virtual assistants bonuses and incentives if they hit certain metrics, or if we're really crushing it in our business. Last year, they got quite a few bonuses, 13th month pay, which is pretty accustomed in the Philippines. But yeah, $8.99 to $37.56. Yeah, I'm not going to get rich flipping this, but that's $17 profit on one flip from home. Look, 210,000 ranks. So this broke my rule. It's an exception to the rule. And if we take a look at the Keepa chart right here, you can see the price is fluctuating all over the place, down to 29, up to 45, down to 26. So, I use Bqool Repricer, so I'll set a minimum, maximum price and typically let it rip. But we're usually looking for at least a 40, 50% ROI. This came out to almost 200% ROI on this flip. But yeah, you don't have to spend $40, $50, $60, $70 per item like I do on a lot of my products. I mean, in 2024, my average selling price per item over 6,000 products was $111. So, for me to sell an item and be profitable, sell it for $100, I typically have to pay $40, $50. So that's my model. I just prefer to deal with less products because it's less items I have to deal with in terms of stranded inventory, repricing, returns. So I'd rather just deal with higher ticket items, but you could certainly, and a lot of the people who use Replen Catcher are going after $30, $40, $50 flips and paying $8, $12, $13, $15. So again, takes a little bit more capital, but you've got that comfort of being able to do this from home, not having to go to the thrift store. You could source at any time. You could have a freaking glass of wine sourcing at 2 a.m. Yes, I've done it before. Don't drink too much when you're doing this. You'll spend too much money. But yeah, just another great flip. So let's get on to the fourth item that I sold. All right, so this is a kitchen item right here. To be honest with you, I'm not even entirely sure exactly what this does. And I know it's silly to say that, but my team isn't buying products based on what they are or how it works, right? Yes, we are looking at the reviews and making sure it's not like a 2 out of 5 star, because that's going to cause a lot of returns. But we're looking at the data. We're looking at what we could buy it for, how much we could sell it for, how often it's selling. Are there a lot of competitors, right? Is the offer count going up or is it going down? Because if the offer count was going way up and it's maybe not super fast of a seller like this, it's only selling 9 times a month, 169,000 rank in the kitchen category, the price is going to tank. So we're looking at the numbers. Is it profitable? Is it likely of giving us an IP complaint, right? So one of the ways that we prevent getting counterfeits and IPs is we're looking at the number of sellers. We're making sure there's a consistent amount of sellers. We're making sure it's not coming up on IP alert. We're making sure there's not any huge sharp declines. And this might look like one right here, but it's not. It's just a natural stair step selling pattern right here. I'm talking about if there's like 20 sellers and then the next day there's one. That's a little bit weird, so we buy based on the numbers, right? And the metrics and the data. We're not buying based on, what this is. A precision cooker, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 900 watt. Cool. I don't know. I don't know. But we sold this item. We paid $71.20, sold it for $149.99 after expenses, fees, paying team, everything. 58% ROI. $41 profit on this right here. And we've sold this multiple times before. This is a Replen. So be on the lookout for this item. And if you're wondering, like, Steve, are you selling these items as used or new? I sell all new. I did, with books, I sell used, but I'm talking all these other products, new. And right now I'm not even doing a lot of books just because I'm using Little Owl Prep. And I just feel more comfortable with new. There's less inspecting. It's good to go. The items get listed and shipped out the door very quickly. And I just feel like when I used to sell used items and used DVDs and board games, like that's a lot of extra work having to check and inspect and make sure all the pieces are there, so on and so forth. So I pretty much just deal with new products. But yeah, another awesome item I sourced with Replen Catcher. 58% ROI, 41% profit. All right, and last but not least, we got the Terminator. Profits going up like an elevator. I don't know why I put it in a form of a rhyme, but that's just what I do every single time. Paid $24.49, sold it for $77.53. $33 profit, 138% ROI. And you can see right here under Bqool, we've actually listed this and sold this about 9 times since the Bqool seller amp integration started, which is cool because when we buy the items, we push it through to Bqool, save all of our data there. I've made a video about it before. If you type in Rake and Profit, seller amp Bqool integration, you can figure out how we're doing that and the process we have. But yeah, this was a nice flip right here, 138% ROI. And these are all items we've sold within the last 24 hours. So I'm not just like cherry picking the best items that I've sold in the last 2 months, right? These are the types of items that I'm flipping all of the time. $33 profit, 138% ROI. Sold it for 77. The buy box is at 74. If we take a look at the history, this is selling anywhere from upwards to 90, 100, down to 71. I mean, we ended up selling it for 77.53. Again, I'll put the screenshot on the screen of the actual sale from my Amazon store, so I'm not full of baloney. But yeah, I mean, these are the types of items that I am flipping all day long. So guys, if you want to start doing this for yourself and you want to be able to start sourcing items while you're chilling on the couch like I am, I'm just sitting on the couch right here. I source here all the time, watch TV, hang out in the living room. If you want to start doing this and picking up some items that can make you 40, 50, 60, 70, 100 plus % ROI, check out Replen Catcher. Yes, you can do this manually. You don't need a software, but this makes it a lot faster. You could just go to eBay, search for the item, go to best offers, make best offers, do it manually. But if you want to track and monitor, and Replen Catcher, it gives you access to 1.6 million products. This is an advanced filter that I created. So in this filter, I'm only looking for CDs, DVDs, and toys in this example, but there's 3,887 results right now that I could look through. And there's just so many opportunities, 71% ROI, 43, 34, 95, 27%. And you might be thinking like, Steve, 27%, that's a bunch of baloney, phony. Well, dude, on eBay, I could turn a 27% ROI into an 80% ROI. How? By making a best offer. We make a ton of best offers, and Replen Catcher really helps you to aggregate all the opportunities that kind of meet your criteria. Maybe you want to source 40% plus. I've got mine down at 20%. So anything between 20 and 40% that shows up is going to have a best offer option because I created an advanced filter. As you can see, this is only a 30% ROI, but there's a best offer. So if I make an offer for 40 and get accepted, that 30% turns into probably like a 60% ROI. So yeah, with Replen Catcher, you get access to 1.6 million products. And I'm going to pull down this advanced filter really quick just so you can kind of see. But we have all these products in these different categories. 600,000 books we're tracking, 94,000 toys, 44,000 electronics, 110,000 CDs, 300,000 home garden tools, 265 DVDs, 200,000 business industrial products. And essentially what we're doing, and this is freaking crazy because this takes like insane amounts of like code and software engineering to do this, but we're monitoring in real time 1.6 million products. And all you have to do is fill out your filter, your profit, your ROI, condition. You don't have to fill all this out. You can leave certain things blank. Like usually I just put in my ROI, profit, condition, rank, sometimes monthly sales, and just let it rip. And, right now there's 70,000 results on Replen Catcher, and this is updating in real time. And what's really cool as well is you could create a filter, and now we have alerts. So you can literally create a filter. So for example, I'm just going to put in one of my filters. This one's DVD Jackpot City. So give it a second to load. So this is like a very, very specific filter. So there's only 933 results for this specific filter. But every time there's a new offer that comes up on eBay that meets this criteria for this filter, a sound effect will go off, da-ding, and then you just hit this little flag button right over here and it'll auto refresh it and you can just source items super quick. So this is what I have my VAs doing. This is what I do as well. And then also what you can do is you go into the actual Replen Catcher area. I won't show this now, but you can actually upload and monitor your own custom like UPCs and Amazon ASINs because there's 300 million products on Amazon. We're only tracking 1.6 million. So there's huge opportunities to source specific items that Replen Catcher's not tracking. You could upload and monitor your own custom list and just freaking kill it. I'm telling you, there's so many opportunities. It's insane. I wish I had enough money to spend on eBay. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed some of these items that I flipped in my Amazon store. If you guys like this type of content and you want me to make more videos where I share the exact stuff that I'm flipping, what I'm paying, and you can go out and do it and add these items to your Replens list. If you like this, let me know. I'll drop more videos like this. But yeah, with that being said, much love. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.